Welcome to the Night School Reflections. You are over here with Tarithia, and we are on day 2 of our dream journal. Now, tonight or today, whenever you click the video, we are talking about actually recording your dreams reflections. And yesterday, we talked about how important it was to record your dreams. Okay, so with that being said, let's get started. Welcome, Reflections. Hit the like and subscribe button because you are over here with Tarithia, and we are talking about dream journals. Now, whenever you have a dream reflection, it's always good to record your dreams. And when you record your dreams, remember you can keep it in your dream journal, you can keep it on your phone, you can keep it in a composition book. It really doesn't matter. Okay, just somewhere where you can always go back and access it. Okay, because studying your self reflection helps you it helps you ascend, it helps you understand repeating cycles, and it helps you break cycles. Okay, so with that being said, whenever you have a dream, you always want to start out by writing the date. Okay, if you are in your dream journal, you always want to start out with the date because dates are very important. Remember, this planet is built off of numbers and symbols. Okay, and sometimes they speak in numbers. So with that being said, you always want to, as soon as you wake up, you want to write down as many details as you can about your dream reflection. Sometimes you're not going to remember everything, and it's okay, but just write down as much detail as you can. If you can remember what it looked like you were a reflection, your settings, try to write down your settings. Was it nighttime? Was it daytime? Did you recognize where you were? Was it a foreign land? Okay. Were you underwater? Were you on land? Were you on another planet? Where were you, reflection? If you don't know, then that's just fine. But if you can't remember anything about it, then that's good. Okay. So with that being said, reflection, you always want to include details and colors. Colors are very important as well when you are recording your dreams. Okay, physical actions. Did you have any supernatural abilities? Could you move faster than you do normally when you're awake? Did you talk differently? Did you have the same language? Did they not talk at all? How did they communicate in your dreams? Okay, all of that is very important. So with that being said, reflection, I'm going to tell you about a dream that I actually had, so you can kind of get a better idea about what I mean when I first started doing my dream work. Okay, when I first started doing my dream work, I kept having this same reoccurring dream. I always had the same reoccurring dream where I was in a room. The room was completely black. I kept having a dream, so I didn't have a choice but to remember the details. The room was completely black. The floors was black, the walls were black, everything was black, reflection. It was never ending almost. When I say never ending, what do I mean? You know how in your house you can see where the walls begin, you can see where the floor starts. It wasn't like the reflection. It was just complete. That's all, like it was just infinite. Okay. So everything was black, but it wasn't dark. I could still see as if it was a light in there. You get what I'm saying? But there was no way to see any source of where the light was coming from. Okay. So I always remembered as I kept having the dream over and over. Keep in mind, I never remembered all these details at first. I kept having the dream over and over. So I started to notice that what I had on. Okay, I would notice that I couldn't see my hands. I could see my hands, but you know how you see your fingers? I was completely covered in a black suit. I was covered in a black suit. It almost looked like a one-piece bodysuit, even with the feet. Think about it like that. Have you ever seen how some women wear a bodysuit, but it's you can't see the shoes or anything, that it's all connected as one. I noticed that even with my hands, it was all inside of it, okay? But I noticed my fingernails. My fingernails was as they are now, okay? Reflection. I wear my fingernails long and they were the same way, but I couldn't see them, if you get what I mean. I could see the shape of them. Okay, so with that being said, let's keep it going. I started noticing that at first in the dream, I couldn't get up out of the chair. I would just sit there and I would just notice everything about me. I would notice the infinite the room, how nothing never there was no beginning, there was no ending. Okay, so eventually the more I ascended, the more I rose in consciousness and I started to dream. I would go back to this very same dream reflection. When I went back to this very same dream reflection, I eventually got out of the chair. Okay, when I got out of the chair, I was able to control myself within the dream. So when I got out of the chair, I looked behind me. When I looked behind me, reflection, there was this altar. It wasn't an altar, but that's all I can explain it as. Um on this plane. It was an altar, but it was levitating. It wasn't on the ground. It was golden. It was golden. It was the brightest thing I had ever seen next to the sun reflection. Um, and it levitated. It wasn't on the ground. The book that was sitting on it, it was closed and it was shining. It was so bright. And the book was levitating on the altar as well. So at first, when I went over there to it, I couldn't open the book. I couldn't open the book. Imagine getting this far in your dream, how many dreams it took me to even get this far reflection, and I couldn't open the book. Okay. So as I ascended in consciousness, as I kept going, as I kept rising in vibration, eventually I opened the book. Now when I opened the book reflection, guess what? There were no words on the book. It wasn't a book that you could read with words. It wasn't any language on the book. It was pictures. It was pictures. It was like a book of knowledge. That's all I can explain it as, but it was pictures. It was pictures. It wasn't words. It was almost as you was accessing it, but it was pictures. Okay, reflections. So, and it took that was one of my very first dreams. And why I told you about this dream, because I rarely tell anyone of my dreams, it's because it took a lot of shadow work. It took a lot of self-discipline. It took a lot of things for me to do in the consciousness for me to access this book in the Astros reflections. Okay. So with that being said, that's why it's very important to think about all the details I told you. And remember I said it took me a long time reflection. This isn't a week, 2 week, 3 week type of thing. It took me a minute to actually open that book and actually access what was inside the book. Okay, reflection. So with the and it took control. So just think about that reflection. Just because it's one thing having a dream, but it's another thing controlling your dreams. Okay, reflections. So with that being said, um dream journals are very important. Remember, I would never come over here and tell you about something that is not essential to your ascension reflection. Okay, so hit the like and subscribe button. You're over here with Sarethia, and I will be back for day 3 so we can talk more about these dreams. Until next time, Ashe.